Real Nerds is a proud partner of the Denver Podcast Network. In the shadow of the mountains,
we speak.
Coming to you from the X-Axis, it's John of All Trades with your host, John X.
Welcome to this John of All Trades podcast promo. Each Wednesday, I bring you a brand new interview with someone fascinating and ask the question we all ask when we meet someone new. Hey, what do you do? It's fun, informative, and it's the 2017 Westward Reader's Choice Award winner for Best Denver Podcast. iTunes, Stitcher, and johnofalltrades.us.
Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Brian. No, this is my announcer voice, and you're listening to Real Nerds Podcast. Should I do this as my real self? Oh, shucky darn. Hi, this is Brian Cummings. You're listening to Real Nerds Podcast. Okay, do it straight. Hi, this is Brian Cummings, and actually you are listening to Real Nerds Podcast. Send money. And real estate.
Welcome to another Real Nerds Podcast interview from Denver Pop Culture Con 2019. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast live from Denver Pop Culture Con. I'm joined with Jason Head.
Thank you.
Actor.
Appreciate it.
All around pop culture enthusiast, though, by the looks of it today. So, what have you liked about the con so far? It's a massive gathering of people.
You know what? I'm trying to look at how the format of how they just laid out everything. And from last year, it looks like they came in really orderly and they compacted and brought in some really good vendors. A lot of good people here. A lot of people more in costume, I think, this year. To be honest, I was only here for 1 day, so last year, but this time I was able to come back the second day, so it's great.
So you did it all the whole 3-day experience now?
Yes.
Right
well, almost. Couldn't come Friday though.
No, it did come right on. What was the what stuck out for you the most? For me, it's been the whole just the expansiveness of everything, because it seems like it's gotten even bigger since last year.
You know what? I would definitely say it's definitely gotten some bigger. Let's see. You had the artist row. You had I think there's more merchandisers here more than anything. I mean, I felt overwhelmed, and I felt like my pocketbook just wasn't deep enough to go buy all the stuff that I really wanted.
I feel like my wallet is crying whenever I walk by all that merchandise. I'm like, I want this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's so much cool stuff, and it's I'm normally not a collector of the Funko Pops.
Yeah.
They got a whole ton of collection of Funko Pops and stuff everywhere.
I know. I saw that one. It's the one that's got the grate, and they've got them all stashed in the back of the row.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they're everywhere, and I'm like, holy crap. And it's I haven't even seen probably even most of the TV shows, but I want them. That's how ridiculous they are good.
You're just wow, now I have more options of things to do here.
Yeah, that's how good they are at.
Did you go to any celebrity panels or anything like that?
I wanted to go to Amy Raver Lampman's. She's the current star in the Umbrella Academy, and she was on the Hamilton Broadway with the original cast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was with that cast for about three years. I think 3 years. She said.
Wow. So she was she there? She was there from the get-go, right?
She was there from the get-go.
Wow.
when they cast that, and I never got to see the original Broadway show. I mean, the tickets
join the club.
Yeah, right.
Did you join the lottery when it came to town?
The lottery? No.
Yeah, the ticket lottery and whatnot?
No, I did not. I didn't even know about that.
I entered in to try, because it was it was on an app, and they said okay, you enter all your info in, we'll put you in the drawing, and if you win the drawing, then you get to buy the tickets. And I would get notifications, I'd forgotten about it, and I'd get notifications going you didn't win the Hamilton lottery. Well, great, another thing I failed to do today.
Right? Oh man, that stinks.
What is the kind of pop culture thing you're interested in the most?
One thing that stuck out to me, I would probably referring back to your first question, that stuck out to me the most was Stranger Comics. I got to meet the I believe he's part of the original team, writer, but they're writing this this comic called, I think it's called Niobe.
Mm-hmm.
And it follows a very interesting storyline. It's kind of set like back in sort of Game of Thrones type tribal type era.
Yeah.
But with a little bit of new take on it. The way that the writer described it, his name is Sebastian, is that it's this. It's basically if you were to put spirituality into comics, and it follows the journey of this young black girl, and she's been separated from her tribe. It starts off differently. I don't have the comics here with me, but that's one of the things that really stuck out with me as far as with Stranger Comics.
Right on. Stranger Comics.
Yeah, Stranger Comics. They got a booth set up. I think they should be still here, but yeah, if you get a chance, check them out.
I'll have to check it out before we leave today.
Yeah.
The thing that I was fascinated by with the different like venues and the vendors and stuff like that is how much selection there is right now.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. Like, I did not think you'd need to necessarily do old-timey comedians as a pop culture element, and yet we have people who do artist sketches of those in the back. So there's just like a vast ruminating area.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like he takes I don't know what exactly his deal is, but it looks like he takes comedy figures and he just does like fucked up sketches of them. So like, and I'm like, and I don't know like what use I'd have for that per se.
Yeah.
But I almost want to go up to him and be like, can you give me something like that no one's asked for? Like, give me something that you want that no one's asked for. I'll buy that from you.
Yeah.
Like, I'll pay the full price.
Yeah,
Don't
original.
matter to me. So what are you looking forward to wrap up the day? Because obviously it's been a 3-day excursion, 2-day excursion for you, but. Like an excursion in itself. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a safari. It's a safari into nerdism, if I'm allowed to say that. and I completely appreciate it.
Yeah.
What I'm going to wrap up today, I'm going to see what celebrities are left.
Yeah.
To look at, because I got here pretty darn late. I had to go do the brakes in my car. But
shoot, no.
If I were to wrap up today, I am going to go over to. Number one, go over to the pop culture classroom. I got a friend over there who's helping the younger generations get used to writing, acting, and directing in films. They got a little green screen thing set up over there. So I want to go see my friend Krista. She's doing an awesome job there. And then I'm also going to, I don't know, I'm probably going to look at a lot more, there's just so much stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, how do I even name it? I mean,
It's so broad. It's such a broad, expansive scope.
I'll pass by 6 booths and I'll be like, whoa, wait, what did I just see here? I need to go back. So, yeah, I'm going to take my time and try to do that.
Scourge up and down trying to figure out, like, well, what's interesting me right now at this moment? Because this thing's distracting me from the other thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. What was the, best panel that you've been to today that, maybe wasn't celebrity related or, something that kind of, threw you for a loop, I didn't expect to enjoy that?
I haven't been to a panel yet. Yeah, because, excuses. I got lots of excuses, but I haven't been to a panel yet.
That's all good. But you still got time to explore and whatnot.
Oh, yeah,
and there's
definitely.
always next year to fill up that calendar with all the stuff you want to do.
This year was a little bit unplanned, but was happy that somebody was able to provide me with some access.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And that was cool. So
you're an actor, and you wanted to talk a little bit about that. Do you, what kind of, what's your? I'm trying to think of a good way to ask this. What got you into it? What kind of things within pop culture kind of got you into wanting to do it?
Let's see. Voice acting was probably my number one thing. I loved the voice act. The cartoons that I grew up with, obviously.
Yeah.
But also, I would just be sitting on, years ago, I'd sitting on a Sunday, and in between commercials or even on the commercials, I would hear somebody doing a spot, and I'm like, I think I could do that. With the proper training and and technique and some branding, I think I could do that.
And you always start by talking in front of the television, trying to recreate the voice.
Exactly.
Yeah, I used to do that with The Simpsons and stuff. And it was a lot of fun.
Of course, when you're watching lots of cartoons, you got Peter Griffin, oh jeez, and you got Rick, and hey, it's Morty here, and, doing those type of different voices, playing around. It's fun to always do. And of course you got Kermit the Frog here, all the classics. Jim Henson classics. I mean, it's like that stuff influences me, and to tell a good story and have fun when you're doing it, and to leave a lasting impression on somebody that they come back years later and say, "Oh my God, you were my childhood!" Like, how can you? I haven't had that experience yet, but I'm pretty sure it's rich.
Yeah,
and I want it.
It's the dream that you kind of reach for.
Yeah,
like I've never had an experience like that either, but like you kind of like you have to hope that someone's listening out there, and then eventually it'll come back and somebody can say to you like, "You helped me through a hard time," or
exactly,
"You were entertaining throughout my entire childhood."
Yeah,
and that's kind of the currency I live off of.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah,
and also like to be somebody's well, maybe not be somebody's, but to be part of a nightmare, because I've always have this interest thing with horror and thrillers, and it'd be like, this summer experience something that you've never been before, doing those deep trailer voices.
Get a little bit of a Freddy Krueger or like a Jason kind of thing going in your, Jason doesn't talk, but like, you know what I mean, like you gotta want to kind of have that menacing thing. I used to do the same thing with Psycho, with Norman Bates, because I used to be like, it was never Norman himself. It was the mother voice, especially when they're doing that zoom, that dolly in at the end. I'm like, I'm not even gonna swat that fly. Yep. Like I used to try to like get her voice down.
Yeah,
I don't know why, because it's like I always had a high pitched one. So like what was the like? You talked about thrillers and horrors. Like what's if you had to pick the top contemporary monster? Obviously, you've got the Universal classics.
Yeah,
contemporary from like the 70s onwards. What would you say? Like,
who's
been the most influential? Or the scariest, even.
The scariest to me? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is Jaws, because that terrified me as a kid. I never wanted to even go swimming in a pool, afraid that somebody dropped off a baby shark in there. But I would say next to Jaws was probably it. Pennywise the Clown has always been like that. Like, it's just that the corner. It's that dark corner that I never want to go to. Yeah.
Now, did you grow up a fan of the Tim Curry one, or was this kind of like just the new Bill Skarsgård one?
I had to see the Bill Skarsgård one first because I wasn't introduced. Like my mom wouldn't let us watch horror films when we were younger for obvious reasons.
I was the same, yeah.
So seeing the Bill Skarsgård, I'm like, all right, I want to go back to look at the previous performance of Pennywise, and see, okay, what did they change, and how did he bring to that character with less effects, you know? So that's always amazing.
It's amazing. The director of that, Tommy Lee Wallace, was a fantastic director in the 80s, did some stuff with John Carpenter, helped create Halloween in a massive degree.
Oh, yeah.
And he always kind of has a unique way of kind of pushing his effects forward, especially when you consider it's a television movie. Mm-hmm. It's amazing the budget works as well as it does.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I don't know, I was reading something today about like how theater actors have to hold this, how people respect them a lot more because, they have to be in that moment, especially before a crowd.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the actors from those older movies, I think some of them, or if not most or all of them, had theater training. And to see how they would be so enveloped in that character. And it's a different way because I'm always studying them. I'm like, okay, they're taking this approach that is so it's of course genuine,
right?
And I can't find a word to say what I want to say right now. So
it's kind of like that lack of breaking concentration to a degree. Like I've noticed it with theater actors versus just straight up film actors. Like you can tell when somebody's had stage experience.
Exactly.
You get them on set. You can tell which one knows how to work with the camera and which one kind of has to be guided a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you have theater training, or are you kind of primarily film trained?
When I was younger, I had a little bit of theater. Yeah. I never did any of the tried out for official plays outside of the church community.
Yeah.
So we started out in theater. I did one play for high school, and then that was it, pretty much. And then after that, I got interested about film and voice acting.
Do you find film acting a little bit more doable sometimes to a certain degree, or do you kind of break the concentration between action and cut?
I honestly don't want to.
Yeah.
I want to stay in it, so I've been thinking about okay, I need to see what method acting is about.
Yeah.
There's always a stigma that surrounds it, but I think that's part of the whole thing, especially with Stanislavski's. What's the other one? Meisner techniques, keeping those in mind. So I kind of want to live in that world. I can always go there in my head, but to bring it out and make sure that the camera's getting what it needs, as far as like what for my character, I'm always kind of, that's my iffy little fear, what I'm worried about. So
and as long as you can kind of keep yourself within check on it too, that's also the biggest thing I've noticed with people who tend to go that way. Whenever I've seen them in any different circumstance. Yeah. Sometimes they have a hard time breaking it, but more often than not, I've seen people be able to snap out of it pretty good.
Yeah. That's good.
Well,
Great.
thank you, Jason, for sitting down and chatting with us today here at Denver Comic Con.
My pleasure.
Denver Pop Culture Con, sorry. They're going to kill me. Do you have anything to plug or anything you want to promote out there? Get out there in the world?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at head_voices. I'm going to be putting up some content, some stuff that I'm doing. I'm getting a lot of coaching now, so I can start focusing my branding, but hopefully you'll see me in a couple projects coming up here soon. Yep.
Awesome. Cool.
Awesome.
Well, this has been Jason Head talking to me, Zach, here at Denver Pop Culture Con 2019.
Thank you, Zach.
See you later.
This has been another Real Nerds Podcast interview from Denver Pop Culture Con 2019. See you next year.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Drafthouse in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.